Welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am StevieB. Hope you are all doing great today. I'm here at the Megavolt teleporter on planet Calypso, named after the one and only Megavolt himself, a great friend of mine, long-term player, and all-around swell guy. Megavolt is always happy to take a minute to help you out in rookie chat if he has information, and that guy has more information than the Wikipedia itself. Guys, I'm glad to have all the Stevies with us. If you're a new viewer, I'm happy to have you too. I want to talk about something awesome that happened today, and that is version update 17.2 in all of its miraculousness. So let's jump right in. I'm going to do this in reverse order. We have a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to talk about it. We've got plenty of spits and smacks for you guys. There's also a slight echo in the microphone. I tried to work that out, and I figured out actually why bother, because the haters are watching this. They're not getting all the smoke blown in their face since I quit smoking, so we're going to leave the echo just to piss them off. So version update 17.2 has been long awaited, and it came with a few little things that are really great but kind of hard for some players to understand. So first of all, crafting. This is a construction terminal. This is where we do our crafting at this machine right here. And what they did is, we're going to find my Explosive Projectiles blueprint. First, let me run to the trade terminal, buy some nanocubes. So let me explain how this works for you guys who have never done Explosive Projectiles before. So there's Explosive Projectiles 1 through 4 blueprints. Each blueprint uses nothing but nanocubes. The input is found in the trade terminal. And it's one of the things that people say, oh, it destroyed the economy. No, all it did was make MindArk richer. Now, I only have Explosive Projectiles number 1 and 2. I do not do number 3 and 4 because, quite frankly, I just consider it gambling. When you make Explosive Projectiles, you're making something that very few players use. It doesn't have very much markup, and there's not a ton of demand for it. This is where people gamble. So normally when we craft, we want to take our slider and we want to set it to full quantity. We want to be making a limited item we can sell for markup, which means we want to use residue. We don't have residue on stackable, so we're not going to be using residue. And we're also not making something we can sell to other players. We're not making a limited item. We're essentially just gambling. If you go to the Hall of Fame and you go to all-time highs, and you see for construction that we've got these all-time highs of, Explosive Projectiles, 197,276 ped. That was done with EP4 set all the way to condition, and they got extremely lucky. Most of those people on that list have paid to be there. I personally know somebody who has, I believe, 3 all-time highs, and he is down somewhere in the area of, I believe, 200,000 US dollars. So it is not something smart, it is not something eco, it is not something a good Stevie does. But in the version 17.2 update, they did something interesting. So the Explosive Projectiles Blueprint 1, the one that I'm using right now, it's popular with newer players that are doing the Monria Daily Crafting mission. The Monria Daily Crafting mission gives you 75 PEC TT value of engineering skills for 500 crafting successes. Now, what's weird about the Explosive Projectiles 1 blueprint is it only uses 2 nanocubes per attempt. That's a very low amount of inputs with a very low TT value. So a near success is usually rounded down to a fail, because a near success is less than 1 PEC, and prior to version 17.2 update, a near success had to be 1 PEC or more in order to give you any kind of value back. That has been changed. So we're going to start. For that reason, there are players who would do larger runs, but they would do it on condition. And it cost more, it took longer, but as you see, I'm now getting Shrapnel, and notice it's carrying it to 4 decimal places. So I'm getting almost a near success every time instead of fail, and it's giving me Shrapnel back as part of my returns now. So this is one of those things, it's going to happen in crafting from now on, it seems. Shrapnel is now a part of the crafting economy. Now whenever you're getting a success, a near success, you're going to be able to get shrapnel back in addition to residue, in addition to other materials. It's not taking the place of anything, it's just being added to it. It was specifically done for blueprints like EP1 where the inputs are so low, TT value wise, that a near success would normally be counted as a fail because it would have to round down since it couldn't round up. In fact, normally before 17.2, all these near successes would have been fails. Probably 9 out of 10 that I just hit on the near success would have been fail, and now I'm getting some kind of a return. Is that good? Yes. Is it profitable? Absolutely not. This is definitely not going to be a moneymaker, guys. If you are one of the people who is just addicted to crafting explosive projectiles, especially the lower level EP1, EP2, this is probably a good thing for you. Is it something I recommend most of the Stevies do? Absolutely not. Every little bit counts though, so this is one of those big improvements that MindArk has made, and I'm very happy to see it. So now that you guys have seen it in action, I'm going to go ahead and stop because I have no use for explosive projectiles. If you were reading through the version update notes and were wondering what changes they made to crafting, why and how, that was it. They did it specifically for this reason. So that pretty much sums up all the changes right there in a nutshell. Shrapnel is now returned in construction attempts that are successful or near success. It's specifically designed for blueprints that use low TT inputs like EP1, and it's specifically designed so that instead of getting a fail when it should have been a near success, you can get a near success that is less than 1 peck because the shrapnel allows them to carry it to several decimals. So moving on from that, the big part of version update 17.2 is the tiering changes. So if you guys have seen my other video about tiering, under the old tiering system, unlimited items tiered automatically, that is still true. Limited items tiered automatically, that is still true. Unlimited items you have to tier manually and you have to pay to tier, right? So that has not changed. What has changed is the tier rates. Under the old system, prior to yesterday, each item had 10 different tier rates for tiers 1 through 10. The tier rate was the speed at which it tiered. If you saw my old video, I used to go through and look for limited items with high tier rates that would tier very quickly. That is what allowed me to tier. If we go into my storage, give it a second to load, guys. Got a lot of crap in here. See if I can find them real quick. Here we go. So I had tiered some BC15s and an LR15 for Category 1 Mayhem a while back. So notice this one is tier 9, and under the old tier system it had extremely high tier rates. If we look now at the top up here, it says efficiency, weight, tier, current tier is 9.9, tier increase rate 1997 over 4,000. Now for unlimited items, it's always going to be for limited items, it's always going to be over 4,000. So it's going to be some number over 4,000. So this particular weapon, when I purchased it under the old system, each tier rate was a 4-digit number. Most of the time, if you looked at tier rates, you see 2-digit numbers, maybe 3-digit numbers. This one had 4-digit numbers on all 10 tiers. That's how I got it to tier 10, and it still had TT value, or tier 9, and still had TT value left. This BC15 right here, it's tier 8. Same thing, under the old system, it had 4-digit tier numbers all the way down. Notice now tier increase rate 3348 over 4,000 for the last 2 remaining tiers. Still got TT value left. This BC15 right here, again, notice 4-digit tiers. That's because these were all 4-digit tiers. So under the old system, using my old video, I was always looking for those high tier rates. I still am. The only thing that has changed is it's been condensed down. Instead of having 10 tier rates, we now have 1. So to put this into perspective for you guys, a while back I bought some Angel arm guards off auction. They're limited, and they had great tier rates. Now that has all been condensed down to where it's got 1 across the board tier rate of 3,854 over 4,000. So this thing is going to tier monstrously fast. These will be tier 10 arm guards before they end up being useless and going down to 0 TT. This means I'll be able to fill this up with durability enhancers, stat enhancers. I'll be able to greatly increase either the durability of these arm guards or the amount of protection they provide using enhancers. This is good for the tiering economy, it's good for the enhancer economy, it's good all the way around. Now if we look at unlimited items, let's take my BP20 FEN for instance, the same thing has happened, but instead of it being a tier rate of /4000, it's /200. Unlimited items have always had far lower tier rates than limited items. That's because they can be used over and over and over, they can be repaired, limited items cannot. So naturally, unlimited items are going to have lower tier rates. It's going to take much, much longer. Tiering is a long-term investment in unlimited items. So again, we want to see a number as close to 200 as we can, but it's going to be over 200, not over 4,000. So with limited items, I'm now looking for a tier rate close to 4,000 as I can get. With unlimited items, I'm looking for a tier rate as close to 200 as I can get. So there is some math involved. I have not taken the time to break it all down, but essentially the higher the tier rate, the faster it tiers. That's the important concept. I really don't care at what number I have a 100% higher chance of increasing the tier than the number before. That part doesn't matter to me. The closer I can get to 200 on an unlimited item, the better. The closer I can get to 4,000 on a limited item, the better. That's the important part. I still think that using those tier rates going forward will be an opportunity to make money. I still think there's a lot of players who, even after an update as big as 17.2, excuse me guys, aren't going to realize that increasing your tier rate can be substantial. They're not going to understand the benefits. They're not going to understand when to use enhancers and when not to use enhancers. Also, guys, one great thing is enhancers no longer break totally randomly. So enhancers have always more or less broke in proportion to the benefit they provided, more or less. However, they have broke more or less quote-unquote randomly. That has been changed. They now break directly proportional to the benefit they provide. So a damage enhancer put on something crappy like a Solemate Apollo is going to last a freakishly long time compared to a weapon like a BP80 augmented. They're going to probably break a little bit faster, right? Now, does this mean that all of a sudden we can go get damage enhancers and throw them on any crappy noob weapon we want and go have a ball? No, it doesn't work like that. You can do it, but it's still going to cost you money because the enhancers still cost a great deal of markup. The inputs that are needed to create enhancers are going up. Pyrites over 200%, well over 200%, and not dropping nearly as often. So damage enhancers and enhancers in general are still a very, very expensive way to play. However, in those instances where you need to use them, such as competitions like Mayhem, or on those uber rare, high efficiency, high DPS guns like Messy Sacrificial Dagger, the BC80 augmented, in certain conditions, Mod Merc owners are praising the Lord Jesus today for their lucky stars. In those rare conditions where enhancers are already called for, then this is going to be super, super beneficial long term, in addition to the fact that when an enhancer breaks, you now get back the TT value of Shrapnel that had already been implemented in version update 17. So what does this mean in general? In general, it means that MindArk has thrown a bone to people who are using EP1. The Shrapnel in your crafting loot is a bone being thrown to the EP1 crafters out there. To those of us who have been tier rate aholics, it is long awaited. It simplifies the process. It makes it much easier, much better across the board, and also it fixes the problems that we've been having since version update 17. Since version update 17.0 first dropped, when they changed tiering, there have been a lot of stuff that's just been stuck and would not tier because of the way the tier rates were. Somehow when they updated to 17.0, it essentially broke the higher tier rates. You could still tier low tiers, Like tier 1, 2, and 3 was not an issue to hit, but beyond that, it was like stuff just would not move. So hopefully this fixes that. We can now get our limited items to tier 10. We can go ahead and continue tiering our unlimited items that are worth tiering, and we can just go from there. This does not mean that just because you have an unlimited item that suddenly hits a tier rate, it's like, yay, let's go spend money and tier it. There's still a lot of crap in game that is not worth tiering. There's still a lot of crap in game that's low level or useless crap that even if you can tier it, I do not recommend it, and I do not recommend putting enhancers on it due to the cost. That's not going to change. Nothing they do is going to change that because of the nature of enhancers and how they're created in the markup and the dynamics of the game. But for those of us who are addicted to tier rates on our limited items and who have some good high quality uber unlimited gear, this is a godsend. So I also want to take a moment to credit MindArk. They're really going in the right direction. I personally had lost a lot of confidence in the game over the past year. Over the past 6 months, MindArk has really brought a lot of that confidence back. I think the new team that's in place is really doing a good job. They're really taking the game in the direction it needs to go. And honestly, guys, I'm considering investing even more money in the game if they continue going this direction. So lots and lots of good things with 17.2, mainly tied to tier rates, streamlining it from 10 down to 1 tier rate for an item, giving us that easy over 200 tier rate number for unlimited, giving us that easy over 4,000 tier rate number for limited items. I really think this is going to do a lot for the game. Personally, I'm super stoked about it. I can't wait to go out and start tiering the F106 again. I might even tier the BP20 FEN a little bit more. I've got a lot of limited gear that's been sitting in my storage collecting dust that I'm waiting to tier. The one that I'm super happy about, my Earthshocker set. The foot guards, unfortunately, are the easiest part to find, but my foot guards are now 1100 over 4000 tier increase rate. That is awesome. These foot guards will easily be tier 6 or 7 before they're done for, which means that I will get a whole lot of use out of them. And considering the ungodly markup on Earthshocker equipment, that is freakishly awesome news. So guys, I'm super stoked. I know this probably doesn't help out a ton of the Stevies out there, but look for the opportunities. Once the fuss around 17.2 dies down, there will be players who totally throw tier rates out the window. If you're looking for those limited items, if you're looking at those tier rates and you're getting those super high tier rate limited items, they will tier quickly. And if it's stuff that can be used in competitions like Mayhem, then there will be opportunities leading up to summer and probably more so even Halloween and Christmas Mayhem for those of you who are very selective about your purchases and very selective about how you tier stuff, when you use extenders, when you use other things that will prolong the TT value of those high tier items. So guys, that's more or less everything you need to know about version update 17.2. I'm going to leave it there for the day. I do have more content coming for you guys. It is currently 4:30 in the morning as I record this because I want to get it out there for y'all. I'm going to head back to bed when I get up. I have a video I've been wanting to make all week. I think you guys are going to love. It's not going to teach you how to play, but it's going to be a whole lot of comedy in one video. I think you guys will absolutely love it. I have some other videos I'm going to try and get done today also. They're going to be super helpful, jam-packed with information. And guys, we're about to celebrate the 1,000th subscriber to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much to all the Stevies out there. Thank you so much to everybody who has hit that subscribe button. Guys, like I said, the haters watch every video. They hit the dislike button on every video. The best thing you guys can do if these videos are helpful, and I get messages every day telling me they are, continue to hit that subscribe button, continue to hit the like button on every single video. Look for the golden nuggets in these videos that will help you guys play smarter, more effectively, and make that ped last longer. I had a player the other day who said he has played since 2005, and he did not truly get the game until he watched my videos. That is why I do it. I do it to help you guys. I do it for the love of the game. I sent MindArk a support case right before I made this video. I said, look, I told you guys 2 years ago when I started, EU was going to be my home. I was going to make this my second home. I have done so. I have built a community. I have built a group of people that I enjoy playing with, and I have no intention of leaving. I am totally 100% invested in making this game the best it can be, and it cannot be the best it can be if the information is not out there to help the players, old and new, play to the best of their ability. So guys, I will continue to pump them out as long as they're helpful. I continue to appreciate all the support you guys show. I could not do it without you guys. I get messages all the time, man, it's such an honor to meet you. No, it's such an honor to meet you guys. You guys are what makes this possible, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll leave it there for this one. That's been everything about 17.2. Head up to Monria, and if you're wanting to try out the new crafting, grab you an EP1 blueprint. Be sure it's quality rating 100. Head up to Monria and check out that daily engineering crafting bonus. 75 pack TT of engineering skills for 500 successful crafting attempts. The shrapnel can be converted to universal ammo, which is not lootable on the flight back. You might have to TT the residue, but the shrapnel and the explosive projectiles are not lootable on the flight back through space. So head up to Monterey, check that out. If you're wanting to go check out that daily, be sure to check the tier rates on your items. I had a lot of nice surprises and good juicy tier rates on my unlimited and my limited gear, so check the stuff you guys have sent in storage. Put in the comments below what your biggest hits of the day were. Mine were obviously the Angel Arm Guards and the Earthshocker Foots. Those were the best tier rates I got out of it. Super excited, super stoked to see the F-106 in action. Let's check the F-106 as we wrap up. Just took all the enhancers off. Tier rate 105 over 200. Not the best, not what I was hoping for, but you know what? I'll take it because it's an F-106. So we will eventually get it to tier 10. It will be headed there very, very soon. Guys, I've been StevieB. If you really want to support us, head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn. And that's the best way you guys can support us. And we'll be back with another video very soon. Take care, Stevies.